Welcome to St. Michael's School in Cranford, New Jersey. Let's go on a virtual tour. St. Michael's School exists to promote the spiritual, academic, and personal formation of the whole child. As witnesses to the teaching of Roman Catholic doctrine, the students are challenged to achieve excellence in their relationship with God and in all they do. The challenge of the St. Michael student is to live these teachings beyond our doors into the local and world community. Faculty, parents, and students are the cornerstone upon which we build our faith-based academic environment. The deepened awareness of the presence of Jesus Christ in our lives is fundamental to the life at St. Michael's School. When we first pass through the front doors of St. Michael's School, we will walk directly into our auditorium, the home of Mrs. Demand's Drama Club, where we host many shows including our fall drama production and our spring musical, as well as our Christmas concert, pre-K and kindergarten graduations, and lots of other school events. Here's the view from our auditorium balcony seating. Our religious education office is located right in the school. Our school nurse and health education teacher, Mrs. Gherkins. When you walk into our main office, you will meet Mrs. Kelly, and here is our principal, Mrs. Maragliata's office. As you walk down one of our hallways, you'll see some beautiful springtime decorations created by our kindergarten and first grade. Here's Mrs. McGann and Mrs. Kress's pre-K 3 classroom. Miss Krakow and Mrs. Feliciano's pre-K 4 class. Mrs. Obergfell and Mrs. Queenan's pre-K 4 class. Our kindergarten class with Mrs. Mendez and Mrs. Pastor. Mrs. Provod's first grade class. Mrs. McGlynn's second grade class. Mrs. Krakow's third grade class. Miss Collins' fourth grade class. Mrs. Demand's 5th grade class. Mrs. Castle's 6th grade class. Mrs. Larkin's 6th grade class. Mrs. Delaval's 7th grade and Spanish class. Mrs. Fasolino's 8th grade class. Mrs. McGorin's 8th grade class. Mr. Franca's music and band class.
Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. God your Merry Christmas, God your Merry Christmas, God your Merry Christmas, God your Merry
Mr. Anderson's gym and home to lots of championships, as well as holiday masses when the church gets too full. Mr. Tipton's computer class. Mrs. Singer's library, packed with books. Mrs. Cress's art class. Our school cafeteria. A great playroom with lots of toys. The school playground. We hope you enjoyed our tour of the school, and we'd love to see you next fall at St. Michael's School in Cranford, New Jersey.